Never before. Look at the Great Depression. Look at any major downturn. The mid-70s. Never before have central banks declared war, literal war on recessions, and said, we will not let the economy fall. Mario Draghi was the first one to say. He said to traders who were shorting the European markets back there in 2020, when we should have had the real crash started, okay? He said, I will print unlimited amounts of money. Do not bet against me, you damn traders. And that's what they've done. They have pushed this off. But even with all this unprecedented $9 trillion for the Fed alone in money printing, never have we seen even a fraction of that, okay? Even with all of that, we keep falling back in a recession. We just came out of the COVID downturn, and with all this massive stimulus, $10 trillion, half of it fiscal, half of it monetary, the biggest single 2-year stimulus in all of history, topping everything before that, and we're already falling in a recession again. That's the problem. The economy underneath is really, really weak and really needs to get rid of a lot of really bad debt and zombie companies. I predicted this would happen decades. All in the 80s, I wasn't just predicting the boom. I was saying 2008 through 2022-23 would be a weak period in between generational spending cycles, and particularly weak because the baby boom was such a large generation to peak and crash. And that's why these guys, they thought they were just going to print some money in 2009 and be done in a year. They've been printing ever since. Unprecedented. I think it's up to $9 trillion now. They've had to print unprecedented amount of money because the downward demographic forces are that strong, and they actually do turn up around 2024-25, but they've kind of pushed this downturn out longer by fighting it and not letting the markets do what they do best, clear out bad debts, clear out excessive valuations, so we can move on and have a healthy bull market again, which we always do when the next generation starts spending. So the next generation is going to start spending in the next year or two, but we have not cleaned up the massive debts and overvaluations of finance, the biggest financial asset bubble in everything. We've never had a financial asset bubble in everything like this. This bubble has not been allowed to burst and clear out its excesses, which we need to do. And I think we're into that process now. I'm predicting as much as 86% for the S&P 500 in this crash and 92% on the NASDAQ. So in that realm of something you only literally see once in a lifetime, it'll turn up around late 2024. So 2025 on would be bullish without stimulus, is what I'm saying, okay? That's when we will see the millennials actually, for good, solid reasons, driving up the economy again, okay? So now, that could start a little later by pushing this out. This crisis, this crash now, that only started at the beginning of 2022 with the peak in the S&P 500, is likely to last well into mid to late 2024, when it normally in the cycles would have been over by late 2020, early 2023. So if we have this crash, if this crash is allowed to continue and they don't blow their way out of this one, and you got to remember, they've been tightening now for a year, okay? And they're about to stop that, but not turn around and loosen again. So they're still in a tightening mode overall, okay? So if the economy keeps going down, then we could be over this as early as the summer of 2024 for the stock market. And I would say at the latest, late 2024. It depends on how it proceeds from here. But if this crash, if this third wave of the third wave I'm talking about continues down, and if it does, you should see that by about mid-June.